What is up, Digital Tour Bus? My name is Alfonso. I am the lead singer of a band named Heartsick out of Lansing, Michigan. We are a four-piece consisted of bass, drums, guitar, and vocals, myself. We are, I would say, a cross between a heavier side of the Deftones, a little bit of Nine Inch Nails, and a lot of Fear Factory type heaviness and things. I wanted to talk about a dream tour that I think would be really awesome for us. As a band, you are always sort of having these like daydreams and fantasies about the what ifs or the possibilities of, reaching the upper echelons of all of your heroes and your influences. Between me and all my band members, I think we would agree that a dream tour for us that we could be a part of would likely be Heartsick, supporting the Deftones, supporting probably Nine Inch Nails for sure, and supporting, I'd say, Korn, just because we all kind of came from that time period. Obviously, we all have different types of tastes in music when it comes to like heavy metal and heavier bands. Our bass player is a really big fan of hardcore music. Our guitar player is a really big fan of bands like Portishead, 12 Round, System of a Down, that kind of stuff. Our drummers are really big fan of like Opeth, Nevermore, In Flames, and all that. I'm a really big fan of like the Deftones, Gunship, 80s synth wave. Big fan of Silverchair, big fan of Pantera. So we all have sort of these different types of music that we like, but I think those three bands really influenced us the most, and bands that we really like look up to and talk about. They're kind of how we discovered the music that we love and that we play, which is heavy metal. And to be able to tour with your heroes is something that is just like almost a unfathomable idea, right? You have these fantasies and these dreams and these goals for your band, but deep down inside sometimes you just think like, oh, maybe that'll never happen, or there's always that questioning of is it possible for it to be a reality. Now I think as a human being, I totally believe that you should always put everything that you want out into the world, and you'll get that, but you have to think positively. At the same time, even though we say those things and we sort of try and manifest those things, there's always that little voice in your head that's like, oh, that's really not going to happen, kind of thing. You always have to do your best to kind of fight that. But I really feel like the Deftones, especially, is a band that every single person in my band is just a super huge fan of. They're a band that's really transcended time and style when it comes to the metal genre. They have managed to build this sort of cult following and make music that isn't only heavy but is intellectual, sexy, and has this mood to it. Korn is basically the band of the 21st century when it comes to metal. They invented an entirely new genre of music that gave birth to so many bands: Stained, Limp Bizkit, Fear Factory, so on and so forth. It's like Korn came into the scene and not only made a new style of music within the metal genre, they literally basically introduced a whole new guitar that everybody basically forgot about, 7 strings. It was like Korn took heavy to a new level at that time. And the influence that they played on us as musicians is profound, especially myself. Having a band like that just kind of like blow up and do things like be on TRL and MTV and rule the radio waves in the mid 90s, where hip hop was just reigning supreme, kind of thing. So to tour with that band would just be like a dream come true. And then I think the why on Nine Inch Nails is because Trent Reznor is such a visionary, and Nine Inch Nails has been a band that has just been so influential, not only in the metal and heavy rock world, but also in the movie world. Trent Reznor is a very accomplished composer for film and TV, and to be able to tour with that band and to pick his brain and maybe have intellectual conversations about music and how he approaches the writing process would be just like almost like an out of body experience. And I think because of the influence that they've played in industrial metal and being able to sort of transcend from the underground to the mainstream and be there is just huge for us. And I think those would be the three bands that we would choose, because it would just be so legendary. And besides, I don't think you've ever seen the Deftones, Korn, and Nine Inch Nails on the same stage. I think you've seen varieties of that, maybe on festivals and all these other types of things. But to see like those three bands, I think just for anybody would just be like sold out show every night, you know. And for us, like those three bands really played such a huge influence in our sound. Nine Inch Nails, that industrial vibe definitely is seeps into the music that we play. Deftones, that droney, sexy type, airy, breathy type of heavy noises and sounds and beats that they do. And then Korn with the 7 strings and just like the constant like bobbing of the head, you know. So I think to us that would be like the biggest dream tour, and I'm gonna put that out there. Maybe one day we'll get lucky enough for that to happen. So that's out in the world now. And Digital Tour Bus is the place that you can go back and say, holy shit, they accomplished that, or being like, ah, that guy's an idiot. But either way, I appreciate you watching the video. I appreciate Digital Tour Bus for having me make this video. Hopefully this helps any of you guys that watch the channel dream big and sort of put your goals and aspirations out there. There's so much in this world that we can accomplish and so much that we can do, and we can't be afraid to just put it out in the world, even if it sounds stupid, even if it sounds almost obscene, like in the reality of it. But the truth is, it's kind of like, if you don't put it out there into the world and you don't get over those fears of maybe looking dumb or maybe seeming a little facetious even, you'll never really know what you can accomplish or what can come true. So I encourage all of you with dreams and aspirations, whether it be music, whether it be art, whether it be acting or anything else, to just go out there, get it, do it, dream it, live it, and have fun with it. Have a good one.